Where am I? What's going on around here, and why are these big red robots kidnapping me? Hello there. Welcome to Miss Belinda Chandra 1. Oh, don't you start. My name is Sasha55, and this is Miss Belinda Chandraville. You've got to be kidding me. We are all really big fans of you, Queen Miss Belinda Chandra. Oh, fuck off. By the way, this video is not made for kids. At the very least, not for under 12s. Also, I am a big fan of Docky Who, and he promised me to take me across time and space and see the stars, and go on all of these really awesome travels and adventures. Oh, Sasha55 is so dead. It's probably going to happen sometime during this episode, or she's not going to become one of the companions of the series. Oh, I'm dead. Okay, I didn't expect it to happen that quickly. Sasha, no! Sasha, why? Oh! Single tear. Oh! It's just like in the Time War. Like after losing Marie Antoinette, who I had tea with. I shall never forget you, Sasha55. Oh well, it probably wasn't important. On with the review. Oh well, at least it gives room for Belinda to become the new companion. I am not one of your adventures. Ask her his review. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Nick here, and welcome to my review of Doctor Who Season 2, Bad Wolf, or Series 15, or Season 41. Season 41. I'm not going to do that every time, it's just because it's the first episode. But yes, The Robot Revolution, the first episode of this new season, and the second series to feature Ncuti Gatwa as the 15th Doctor. This episode also introduces Varada Safu as Belinda Chandra, or rather, it features Varada Safu returning to play a new character after playing Monday Flynn in Boom, and there is a connection. Apparently, Monday is a descendant of Belinda, according to this episode. So the episode sees the Doctor trying to find Belinda because somebody told him to. We don't know who yet. Hopefully we'll get that answer by the end of the series. He also doesn't explain why he comes looking for her. He was just told about her. But as we see, Belinda is kidnapped by these red robot creatures after a day at work. She's a nurse, by the way, and we get to have a couple of great moments with her doing her day-to-day life and living in her house with some housemates before she is kidnapped, and she's taken to this world, Miss Belinda Chandra 1, which is named after her because it circles a star that her boyfriend, Mr. Alan Daniel Bird, had got her for a birthday present in 2008, and she has this star certificate as proof of that, which the robots then, because of this, decide that the star is named after her and the planet's named after her. The people, the bombs, and even the robots themselves are named after Miss Belinda Chandra. I'm not exactly sure how old she was when she got this, but she looks like she's in her early to mid-30s by the time of this episode starting, so maybe late teens, early 20s. As of 2008. Okay, maybe later teens is more likely then. Anyway, so the robots have brought Belinda to Miss Belinda Chandra 1, to become queen and to merge with the AI generator who rules the planet, and to sort of become its consort and therefore control everything, and therefore making sure the people are looked after while still obeying the AI generator, as human rebels or humanoid rebels have fought back against the robot overlords. The Doctor attempts to try and help her, but there is also this sort of a time fraction between where Belinda arrives 6 months after the Doctor, because he arrives 6 months earlier to her, and has to integrate himself into the society, joining the rebels and eventually working himself into the position of historian to get into the throne room alongside Sasha 55 and other rebels, who then help Belinda escape from the robots, but it's at a cost of most of their lives. And so the Doctor and Belinda have to find a way to stop the AI generator and to get Belinda back home. And that's basically the gist of the story. I'll go more into details of the rest of it in a bit. But yeah, this story is a really fun and enjoyable opener to the new season. It's definitely better than Space Babies from last year, that's for certain. And I was one of the people who thought Space Babies was alright. I mean, maybe my 7 out of 10 was a bit generous. But I mean, I didn't think it was awful. I thought it was okay. But definitely the weakest of RTD's openers after New Earth. I thought that one was a bit of a weaker story, even though it was a bit more fun. This one is definitely stronger than both of those two, but it's not quite as good as the other RTD series openers, those being Rose, which I recently rewatched for the Universal's review last month, as well as also Smith and Jones, which I believe is the strongest of RTD's openers, and Partners in Crime, which this episode has some similar vibes going to with both of those two, with the introduction of the new companion who works at the hospital, like Smith and Jones, and working with a doctor, but also the kind of the bits where the Doctor is in that hospital. He's trying to find Belinda, but he keeps missing her, like in Partners in Crime. But then the story kind of moves in its own direction as it goes to take Belinda to Miss Belinda Chandra 1 to become Queen of the Robots, effectively, which was hilarious. Oh, by the way, Mrs. Flood makes her first appearance of the series in the pre-title scene. Well, I say she makes her first appearance. I mean, we didn't really see her. But yeah, like Susan Twist last year, Anita Dobson's going to be popping up in every episode this series. Difference is Susan Twist was playing a separate character each time until the Susan Triad story in the finale, whilst here, Anita Dobson is still playing Mrs. Flood. So Mrs. Flood is back, and this time, well, we'll see what she's up to as we go along. Right now, it's just to say, oh, she's Belinda's neighbour now, and she's here. Moving on. By the way, this episode does a really great job of merging the visual and special effects together really seamlessly. Like, you can tell some bits are CG, like the spaceships flying around the planets and shooting the lasers, but there's a lot of great practical use as well, and they work really greatly into merging with the visual effects, and it looks really great. This is a really great looking story. It's directed by Peter Hoare, and apparently this is his first episode of Doctor Who that he's directed since 2011's A Good Man Goes to War, which also looked really great. I mean, the times have changed, and so it will look a little bit different to how A Good Man Goes to War looked like. That one has a very 2010-11 looking, whilst this one has a very 2024, 25, maybe even 23, as it was filmed at the end of 23 looking. So that was a very early 2010s style looking TV, whilst this one's a mid 2020s style. But that works great. It's like with Graham Harper's 80s Doctor Who's looking slightly different to his mid to late 2000s Doctor Who stories. But they still work really well with blending them in together. And same with, again, Wayne Yip, who directed some episodes of Class and Series 10 of Doctor Who, then coming back for Resolution. But he adapts to the new style of the new era really well. Hey, if we can't get returning writers from previous eras, besides Stephen Moffat and Pete Mackie, now we can at least get the returning directors. Okay, this era has more returning writers from previous eras than the Chibnall-Whittaker era did. As that was only Chibnall, but at least we got a returning director. And the same could be said here. And yeah, Peter Horde has a really great direction with this story. I'm wondering if he's going to do another episode later this year, presumably if it's in another production block with episode 1. Hopefully, because he does a really good job here. We'll see. Also, the actor's really good. Varada Safu is pitch perfect as Belinda Chandra, and I think the way she's written is also really great, as well as a character who's a bit more full of, in control of herself, more straightforward, more determined. She's maybe a little bit jaded by life. I mean, she's lived a bit longer than, say, Ruby has, so she kind of knows what life is like. So she's just trying to live her day to day, but she also does care about her job and also the people she looks after. And we see some really great stuff with her as a nurse, but she's not going to take any crap from the Doctor or anybody else. She's like pretty much straightforward, much like Tegan was back in the classic series, and also the Power of the Doctor, and Donna was as well. And yeah, I think she does a really good job, and Varada does an amazing job of capturing that, especially those little moments like when people are saying, "Oh, you are the queen of Miss Belinda Chandra 1, welcome to Miss Belinda Chandraville," and she's just saying like, "Oh, for God's sake, don't you start." Oh, yeah, like she can't believe what's going on, but instead of being really shocked, she's like, "Oh, really?" It's like it's a really big inconvenience. And I actually really enjoyed that. Barbara Holmes described these bits as being very Moffat-esque. Like the characters would like say maybe something like that. It's like, oh, good grief. Or something along those lines when facing that sort of situation, like a little quippy line. As well as also the bit where she's being kidnapped and she's just taking it on the chin and just trying to relay off as much normal information to Mrs. Flood as she possibly can. Which actually does make me think, maybe Joy to the World shouldn't be Moffat's final story. Maybe he should have written one episode for Belinda, because he probably would be able to do her really well if it's anything like what Russell's doing here. He'd probably write her better than he did Ruby. He basically just turned Ruby into Clara Point 2 and boom. There's not really much to say about the Doctor as a character in this episode other than Ncuti Gatwa again delivering an amazing performance. I will say that, again, because of Belinda's personality, she does clash with the Doctor a few times, like at the end where she basically tells him off for scanning her without her DNA without permission, and to basically kind of like she's going to butt heads with him, but she's still going to enjoy the ride as it goes along, as we'll see later. But yeah, it's good to have a bit of conflict between them, or at the very least clash on some parts. As for the supporting characters, Sasha 55 is a nice character, but oh, her death was so predictable. As soon as she says, "Oh, let's go traveling in time and space," with the Doctor who promised her to do that, and then she's instantly killed. Like, we kind of saw that coming. Maybe not as quickly as it actually happened, but we're like, yeah, she's not going to make it out of this episode. Maybe not even this scene, and then bam, yeah. However, we also got Manny, who is the leader of this rebel organization, and he's basically the big, well, not big, but he's the muscular, kind of handsome dude that I'm sure all the women are going to be like, oh, over. And all the gay men. It's honest, I'm not gay, and I think he's pretty, wow, as well. But, yeah, Manny isn't trusting of Belinda initially, because, and he blames her for everything going wrong, basically. Which, in fairness, sort of is, but also sort of isn't. So, yeah. But Belinda is able to take command of the situation by getting the robots to come and collect her so that they can go and confront the AI generator. And initially she was prepared to join with it, but we get a really good twist with the AI generator. More on that in a bit. And then she comes up with a plan on how to defeat it using her star certificate. By the way, I really like this Doctor Who magazine print thing that they had with the latest issue at time recording. Yeah, it's really cool. I really like that. I also really like the Mr. Ring-a-Ding one as well that they had. But this star certificate thing, yeah, that's a really good replica of the prop. So anyway, it turns out the AI generator is not actually the AI generator, or at least not entirely, as it turns out that another person had previously merged with the computer to become one with it and to become the ruler of the planet. And that was Mr. Alan Daniel Budge, Belinda's ex-boyfriend who got her the star and the star certificate for one of her birthdays 17 years prior. Before she broke up with him a year later because he's an incel, basically. He's quite controlling. He doesn't think women are good at maths. He keeps correcting her, telling her how she should wear, and basically not really being that nice. He was sort of somewhat controlling towards her. And then once he gets the chance, when the robots take him to Miss Belinda Chandra 1, they make him king, and he's given the opportunity to become sort of treated like a video game where he just gets to go around being in charge of everyone and gets to kill whoever he wants because he wants to be in charge and manipulates the population into doing what he wants. Okie dokie. That was a great twist. And yeah, Alan's a very of the times villain. He's you could see he's someone who would be around these days, who'd be a modern villain in the sense of his personality. Alan uses his newfound powers to start the robot revolution 10 years prior. So again, I guess because of the time difference, it's only 10 years for him rather than 16 like it has been for Belinda. And then after taking control, the robots had gone to get Belinda first, and after she told them about Alan, they went to get him, and because of all the time thing, they arrived first. And somehow Alan gets her star certificate to have, which then leads to Belinda using hers to touch it. And because she and the Doctor had a conversation about time and about how things shouldn't touch, otherwise kaboom, she does that, but the Doctor is able to help her avoid a bad fate because of that, as opposed to Alan, who gets turned into a sperm and an egg cell and then swept away by the cute little polish machine that's been popping about the episodes. That's not that nice of an end for the villain. I mean, yeah, he probably deserved it, but that's a dark comedy ending for him. Also, I like the twist of the AI generator actually being the AL generator, or AL, short for Alan. Also, apparently Alan was in pain whilst he's in the generator, because in the episode they established the robots can't hear every ninth word because the thing on the AI generator is a 8 ticking thing, so every ninth word the robots can't hear, so the humans communicate with and the Doctor communicates with each other through the ninth word, and it's very clever to piecing it all together. But with Alan, every ninth word he says is also sort of a secret message where he's saying that he's in pain, and then it just doesn't get brought up again. It's like it's skipped. Like, we focus more on him being a bad guy rather than him possibly being in pain. Like, maybe instead of trying to help him, they turn him into sperm and an egg and have him swept away by polish. So either go down the he's bad but he's also in pain angle, or maybe give him either at least an end to his suffering, at least acknowledge that, or make him an outright villain and skip the whole he's in pain thing. You try to do it both ways and it doesn't quite gel together in the final product, unfortunately. Still, it's a cool looking scene, and it's really well handled elsewhere besides that questionable logic there. The end of the episode sees the Doctor and Belinda reunited with the TARDIS, whilst the robots and the humans establish harmony on Miss Belinda Chandra 1, or whatever they're going to rename the solar system. The Doctor and Belinda attempt to go back home, but something is blocking the TARDIS from going back to May the 24th, 2025, which is the day episode 7 shall be broadcasting, unless episode 6 can't air and it's blocked a week before because of the football overrunning and Eurovision starting. In which case, I'm hoping they'll actually delay that episode broadcast to the next week, and then 7 and 8 are just pushed back a week instead of 6 just being online only. I really hope. And they just tell the people who watched it online earlier that don't spoil it for everybody else. We're going to freeze or close the iPlayer for a week, and then the episode will air. Please do a Name of the Doctor when it was leaked on Blu-ray ahead of its broadcast. Please just don't talk about it for a week, and we'll thank you with a very special clip or something. I hope if worse comes to worse, I hope that's the outcome and not just episode 6 just doesn't get broadcast at all, at least until the repeats. That'd be cruel, especially as it's the one to watch, or one of the ones to watch. But anyway, yeah. So they can't go back to May 24th, 2025 straight away. So they have to go the long way round to cue rest of the series. But before we do, we get a glimpse of stuff from Earth apparently being destroyed. What is going on and why? Stay tuned to find out. Hopefully, this review is now coming out within the week after the episode's broadcast, as opposed to last year, where it was retroactive to fit with the Whoniversals review. We were going to do that this year, but as I mentioned in the reaction, the plan changed 2 days ahead of the episode's broadcast, so now you're getting them within a week or two of the episode's broadcast, so you'll have to wait till the final Venali's review, or the ranking, for me to kind of go retroactive look back on this season, as opposed to doing it in the reviews. Speaking of Whoniversal's reviews, Lux next week, I'm doing that one. So do check out that one. Anyway, so the Robot Revolution. This was a really fun start to the season and a great way to introduce Belinda Chandra to the Whoniverse. It's not the greatest episode, not even the greatest season opener, not even by RTD, but it's still a really fun and engaging story that does what it needs to do well, and it's a story that we probably weren't expecting to be as good as it was. We were just kind of like expecting it to be okay. But in my opinion, this was the episode where I thought it's going to be good, but it's not going to be like spectacular. But we're going to get this out of the way before we go and do even greater stuff in the following weeks, like Mr. Rigading, the spooky well thing, Ruby's episode with Unit, and the conspiracy theorists by the sounds of it. The big giant spider gods, the interstellar song contest, and whatever the frick is going down in the finale. We're going to get more interesting stuff going later down the line, but this episode serves as a really good introduction to this series nevertheless, and ended up being probably a bit better than we expected. I'll be giving the Robot Revolution a 8 out of 10. A really good and really fun episode. It's not terribly special, but it's better than we were probably expecting, and it's still a very fun introduction. I'm actually hoping this episode is going to be the weakest of the series, just so that every other episode, as predicted, is going to be even better and has even more fun stuff to do. So if this does end up being the weakest story of Season 2 Bad Wolf, then it's going to be one of the better weakest stories of a season than some others. But we'll find that out when we come to the ranking at the end of the series. So until then, thank you for watching this review, and I'll see you guys next time on the Whoniversals for my review of Lux, and then back here for The Well in the next couple of weeks. I'll see you guys then. Goodbye. Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the Nicholas Payne YouTube channel.